Welcome back to Solar Impulse TV, live from the Mission Control Center in Monaco. My name is Kari Lundgren, and it is a pleasure to welcome you back. Well, André Borschberg is in the cockpit of Solar Impulse 2, and they are taxiing on their way to the runway in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Today's flight is to Dayton, Ohio, so to the home of the Wright brothers, which is a very appropriate place for Solar Impulse 2 to be flying. The flight time will be about 17.5 hours, and André will be flying to a flight level of 21,000 feet. We will be keeping you posted throughout the flight and the takeoff. The takeoff will be in about a little over an hour's time, so we're going to leave you with the live images from the runway and the hangar in Tulsa.
Are you here?
Sorry? Just till there. Something is bad.
Incredible the amount of work that this system gives. Alors, tac, tac. Ouais. Ouais. D'accord. Et alors, tac.
Confirm all battery coolings are closed.
Affirmative. All closed.
That's copied.
Okay, now. Alors, flight plan.
Mira, if during the waiting they want me to stream something of what I shot before, I can do that, like interview or something.
Flight plan activated. Let's see if we can put it on the other side. External. Great. Active as well. Flight plan done. Can you confirm me the tower frequency and at this frequency?
Okay.
Stand by a second. Okay, André, tower
Yes?
tower
Yes, go ahead.
frequency 121.2 and RT's
Okay, 121.2.
and RT's frequency 124.9.
1249. Thank you. But there's no doors yet.
will contact approach 124.0. All VFR departure contact clearance delivery on 134.05 prior to taxi. Advise on initial contact. You'll have information X-ray.
Non, moi je passe ce matin, ça va. De toute façon, c'est lundi matin, c'est
International Airport Takeoff information X-ray.
Leo?
7530.
at Tulsa, where we got such a great welcome. You may remember that it was a choice we made last minute, but I tell you, we are so happy that we could and made this choice. People have been truly exceptional, so welcoming here. Airport authorities, of course, also American Airlines, which have hosted us, protected us, and for this airplane it's extremely important. So very grateful and a little bit sad to leave. I think there is a sense of welcoming interaction here that we felt different from the other places where we stopped. So also a very nice experience, and that's a state also which has a lot of history with aviation. Pioneers like Wiley Post, who also flew around the world in the early 30s, showing also how to make aviation move forward. And there's also a man who was full of great ideas, and I think it gets really close to also Bertrand's personal history, and I'm sure he may say a couple of words on that. So every time we move forward, we meet people which have inspired us, or we discover have done really interesting things, and that's really the case here as well.
Ray,
Yeah.
I don't know if you are free earlier, but we're having some problems with the live stream. So if you are free
Yes, in a
anytime
few
soon, that would be
minutes.
great.
Okay.
You're looking at me with fear. You did so well.
Yeah.
No, no, well, no. Okay, good. Can we continue with cockpit preparation on your side? Any points you'd like me to check?
Yes, from our side, we would like to check the MCC wake up button. Are you ready for this?
Yes. Okay. Both noise and vibration was done.
Okay, that's copied. Next will be flight control
Right.
checks and engine run-up. Before that, could you
Okay.
reply the email to Raymond if you have the time for it?
Yeah, we'll ask Anne-Christine Greg. Tu pourrais dire à Anne-Christine qu'elle écrive de mon adresse email, comme quoi le vol est approuvé de mon côté, ce qu'elle a oublié de faire ce matin là.
André?
Ouais.
Ouais, je t'ai juste envoyé le release to fly. Si tu peux juste me renvoyer un petit email OK et je signe pour toi.
Ouais, c'est parfait. Et j'ai toujours rien reçu, hein.
Ah OK, d'accord.
Pas d'email. T'as pas. Le plus simple, ce serait de demander à Anne-Christine qu'elle se fasse là. Je vais demander de le faire, mais c'est pas.
Ouais, elle m'a écrit dans ce sens, mais je pensais qu'on le ferait comme ça par l'avion. Alors d'accord, je l'envoie à elle. Ça marche, merci.
Alors, ok, je pense sur quelque chose. Just arrived. Donc je peux te répondre directement moi-même.
Ouais, c'est parfait alors.
Reply.
Merci.
Download rest of message. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Sollen wir auf die Cockpit-Kamera wechseln lassen, damit wir sehen, was er, wenn man noch redet oder so. Daniel. swap to the cockpit camera, please? Ja, der war noch aus gestern Abend bis um 1:30. Aber gut.
Will ich mit ihm arbeiten?
Front, as you.
Email has been sent. Confirm reception in a few minutes.
Between them, yeah? Okay.
Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on a comme météo là-dessus? T'as vu la lune? Une lune, semble-t-il, mais elle est plus là. Hein.
There's literally no way of getting this.
Tulsa Tower from Hotel Bravo Sierra and Bravo, good morning, ready to check. Call on 12.2, loud and clear. Loud and clear, too. We'll call you later when ready. Currently taxi. Roger, what was your call sign? That's Hotel Bravo Sierra India Bravo Solar Palace. Roger.
And so the control of 7 pass confirm Iridium data reception as well.
Stand by a second. Yes, we confirm Iridium is working fine.
Super.
And thank you for Raymond, he received your email.
Okay. Great, great. That's good.
And from your point of view...
Yes, go ahead.
From your point of view, do you see any cloudiness or haze from the cockpit?
I have the impression, yes, we have some clouds above. I don't see any stars, and but it's not low, and it's not uniform. It looks more something like maybe a high-level haze. We'll see when after takeoff.
Okay, that's copied. Perfect.
Welcome back to Solar Impulse TV. I have Raymond Claire, our mission director, here to answer a few questions about the upcoming flight. So Ray, tell me, what is the plan for today?
The plan is for takeoff in about 50 minutes from now from Tulsa. We'll make the takeoff on runway 8, I think, face east because we have some east wind. Actually, some stratocumulus are coming overhead at about 6,000 feet.
Okay.
They are arriving over Tulsa from the west, but we'll fly below this layer for 1 or 2 hours until sunrise, and then we should be faster than those clouds. They are coming with 10 knots about. And then we'll climb towards flight level 210, I guess, and we'll fly in direction of St. Louis and Terre Haute, and then land in Dayton in the evening, around 10 o'clock local in Dayton.
So not too long of a flight then, it's sort of
Well, it's about 17, 18 hours, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
yes.
perfectly doable.
You know, it's long for a normal pilot.
Yes, that's true. We can't forget that.
Yeah.
And the flight profile, we'll show people a little bit later, but the flight profile is a little different today. It looks like some steps. Is that because of the clouds you were just talking about?
It's because of the clouds and because of the wind. Also, the crosswind we'll have coming from the north. So we try to have the optimum ground speed, the best ground speed regarding to wind and cross wind, crab angle, crosswind.
Okay, so that means, basically each time it's going up, so we find a different pocket of wind that's just a little bit better.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Excellent. And so does that make it harder for the pilot to fly?
Well, normally not. I mean, you are just crabbing and you look here and you fly here.
Yeah.
That's a little bit special, but pilot is used to it. And we go up to 60, 70 degrees crab sometimes.
Okay. So this is something that André is perfectly capable of handling.
Yeah.
And will he be spending quite a bit of time on oxygen? Bertrand, during the last flight, was on oxygen for quite a bit of time. Is it going to be the same for André on this flight?
Yeah, it will be also, I think, about 8 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll be chatting to him when he's on oxygen then. And what happens in Dayton? Do we have a hangar like we have in Tulsa?
No, in Dayton we have our mobile hangar, so it will be a heavy day for the ground crew because after takeoff they will have to fly there and to prepare the mobile hangar, the inflatable mobile hangar.
Yeah. And actually, I should ask you one question. I think on the last flight, I think André seems quite excited about flying to Dayton. It's a place with a lot of aviation history.
Yes, because it's the place where the Wright brothers were born, I think, or living even.
And working.
Yeah.
Excellent. No, we'll have to talk. We'll be talking more about that on the website and everything. And one last question for you, which I think everyone is quite intrigued. What happens after Dayton?
That's a good question. Well, after Dayton, we have different options, but let's speak about the most probable one. We'll have there 2 or 3 days. Then we'll fly to Lehigh Valley, which is Kilo Alpha Bravo Echo.
Okay.
Because maybe my pronunciation, Lehigh Valley, is not the best one. So the airport name is Kilo Alpha Bravo Echo. Yeah. It's near New York. And there we have a tent waiting for us. And from this place, the idea is to fly to New York JFK. And during this flight, we would like to make some pictures over the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Now it's Memorial Days, I think at the end of the week, and so here it's a Grand Prix.
Yeah, it's busy in both Monaco and in the US.
But for sure, I think we will reach Lehigh Valley this week. Well, the coming week, and then we'll see when we go to New York.
Yeah.
That's not yet decided, but I'm very happy to see that if we are in Dayton tonight, we have almost the 3/4 of the U.S. covered in 3 weeks, which is very good for a future plan to be in June ready to cross the Atlantic.
Yeah.
And this is very important.
Because that's the thing, is we really need to be in JFK so we can prepare for that big Atlantic push.
Exactly, yeah, and be ready to take the first good window And maybe we'll have to wait for days and days, even weeks. But the sooner we are there ready, the better our chances. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you have a hint of what it's going to be like over the next week. And if you're a New Yorker, then you can be looking out for Solar Impulse maybe over the Statue of Liberty. We'll be keeping you up to date on what we've got planned for New York. And Ray, I know you will be having to go back to work. And soon, next time, I think we will see you without your tie, hopefully.
Just before takeoff, I will take it out.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much. We'll have you back soon.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We'll let you get back to the live stream.
I've been saying, we're saying, I'm testing what our cook, Daniel Ramsey, was supposed to test the first one with nice.
Can hear you.
But it's sur les plateaux repas. Yeah, inside services is getting great. Right.
Oui, j'entends. Vous m'entendez pas? Ça marche pas?
Okay, if we don't have enough space, SITV has to be there.
It has some peace. Ett tot die hebben. Ett tot nog hier. Oui. J'entends.
2.15.
Oui, j'entends.
006. Visual approach is the new runway 36 right. Runway 36 left. Move to there.
I'm in the front.
You're in the front?
You are in the front? Yes. Especially you sit here.
Next to Marie.
Yeah, Marie, next to Marie.
Release the close. Make a left at both doors selected.
No, there are other seats here. Please. La place à mon avis. J'aimerais que tu t'occupes aussi de Schneem et de Nancy. Alors, tu veux t'asseoir là? Alors, prends l'autre juste comme ça, on est sûr que ça.
Well, there's plenty of room. Yeah. Well, I get in. You're good. I'm right here because I want to shoot anyway.
Don't shoot the sheriff.
Don't shoot the sheriff. Whatever you do. I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. Oh no. Sorry, singing's not my thing. But I know the words.
Yeah, it's like me. I know the words of a lot of songs, but I sing completely wrong with the melody. But
Yeah.
I don't notice. And if you sing, I don't notice either. If it's
Oh, good. We'll sing together then. We'll start a band.
Do we go already or?
No, we're waiting for our ops escort to start.
Okay. Ça va, Marie?
Ça va bien.
Yes.
Yeah, you can try. I'll go get the battery.
runways.
Mm-hmm. They've done a lot of work on the runways, so
Yes.
Great improvement over what we had last time.
And great lighting on the... When I landed on runway 36 right, it was really so easy.
And what's your approach speed?
30 knots.
30. And do you flare, or is this like a canard and you?
No,
You
you
just
cannot
fly.
flare. If you flare, you touch the tail
The tail?
first,
Right, okay.
and you destroy everything.
Okay.
So basically, you take 30 knots, 40% air brakes, and you just
You fly it to the
continue
ground.
to the ground.
Uh-huh.
But what you can do is you can add some power just a couple of seconds before touching the ground, so it makes it smoother.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Does it have, what kind of sink rate does it have? Is it,
The best sink rate you have when you are in mission descent, you want to save energy, is about 60 feet per minute. Which is very, very slow. It's half the sink rate of a normal glider. But when I initiated this project, I did not know it would be so early for takeoff, so late for landing.
Would that have made you change your mind if you had known?
No, I would have done it anyway, but...
Yeah, I got two.
But it's funny, I'm not someone who likes so much to get up early.
Not like André, who wakes up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, André is more of the morning, I'm more in the
Early
evening.
bird.
I think more in the evening than in the morning, I have better thoughts. If I write in the evening, not in the morning. My book I wrote much more. Late morning, afternoon, evening.
What was your... did you have something in your mind when you first thought of a solar-powered plane? Did you have an image of what it would look like, what it would fly like?
I knew it would be huge wingspan. I did not know how the body would be. And I was thinking...
Ha.
Mira,
Yeah?
are you still in contact with Monaco?
Yeah.
Do they want the stream from the plane?
From the plane.
Yeah, I've got Yannick.
You have Yannick's thing to fly plane?
Commercial, yes. Otherwise, it depends on your health. If you have a medical check and you are fine, you can continue.
Like Sylvia Earle that still dives.
Yes. She's fantastic.
Yeah. You wouldn't imagine.
You
that
know, she
she's-
was in Moffat for the takeoff, and she was so
But we didn't see her.
shy. She stayed in the crowd. She didn't tell us she was coming. I was so sorry. I didn't even see her.
She's very humble.
Yeah, I like her so much. But she'll be in New York early June for the Ocean Day.
Do you ever imagine like there's going to be like people will have their own personal little solar powered plane that can, you know, like personal travel, you know, very short travel or...
Well, for sure, you can have solar airplanes for 2 people if you want to fly a day. not in the night. Because for day you almost need no batteries, you just fly when you have sunshine. And this can already happen now. But it's not the goal that I have, because my goal is around the world, so you need to cross oceans, so you need to have this perpetual flight, so you need the batteries, and if you have a lot of batteries, you don't have the payload to put more than one pilot. But small ones, just for fun, in Saturday afternoon with a friend over the Swiss Alps, no problem. No, you could do it, absolutely. Already now. And more you'll have electric airplanes also for training. You know, to fly in an aero club, sometimes in the weekend you have problems, restriction of hours because of the noise for the neighborhood. If you fly electric, you can fly anytime. You disturb nobody. And this is the future for everything. The world will be electric in the future. It won't continue with combustion engines, that's for sure.
Oh, there it is.
Bon, moi je les vois pas, ils sont où? Ah oui, il est là.
There it is.
This is spot.
I'm not sure this is the final spot.
We are at least close to the final spots.
Yes, we're very close.
Oh, they're still pushing it.
They're going to check to make sure this is it.
Is it here?
They're going to check.
Because the plane is right there, so we will see it take off very well from here. Qu'est-ce que tu cherches, colonel? Je te vois chercher des choses, mon colonel.
Oui, j'aimerais savoir où on désembarque les gens.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is it, Jack?
Vous me parlez sans être, hein. J'entends tout. Hein. Donc,
Qu'est-ce que tu entends, Yann?
oui, oui. Le son, ça va?
Liz. Bon, on va sortir le petit bonnet des Alpes suisses.
Ah, bah c'est sûr. Une petite yacht?
Ah mais il fait froid, hein?
Ah oui, c'est pas chaud.
I thought Oklahoma was very, very warm.
Normally.
I thought it was the desert, you know, and I find everything green, rivers, trees, grass.
Sometimes chilly.
Yeah, it is, huh?
On va jusqu'à la ligne là-bas pour se mettre plus proche de la piste?
Oui.
Can you come?
DJ, laisse la lumière, lève tes bras, pas de tes côtés. Oui, j'ai compris.
On est shoot. So we cannot cross the line.
Which line, like, can we...
The first one. No. Yeah, I know you all. No, you cannot cross.
No.
I'm a filmmaker, so if there's several lines. I
No,
have
no,
to-
no, no. Nobody. 1 millimeter. It's just this line.
Even it's like
Nou, microfoon, hier schrift. Ja, dat krijg
JFK takes 2 hours to get from your commercial jet to the baggage claim. You ever been?
Yes.
So Bertrand is here. You're going live. Bertrand, you said that one of the worst parts of flying around the world is waking up so early.
I'm not an early bird. No, but it's great because you have this atmosphere with all the all the flashing blue, red lights everywhere. When I was a kid, I loved these moments for the missions Apollo. When I was invited in Cape Kennedy, you had all this atmosphere. It was crazy, all these lights. They were still fueling the rocket with the liquid fuel, so you had all this fog around the rocket. It reminds me, and projectors, spotlights, and so now I'm a little bit in this atmosphere that I love.
But it's always in the middle of the night, landing and takeoff.
Yes, I know. I think my father chose something that was a little bit more relaxing with the submarines. You could do it all the time, underwater, no turbulence. No, I think it's more clever to go underwater than to go in the air. No, but I love to be in the air.
Can you explain?
I'm somebody who loves to fly since always. I made my first flights as a pilot when I was 16 years old with hang gliders and ultralights before ballooning. Everything that flies, I think, is fantastic.
Can you explain why we are here in the middle of the night? Why the takeoffs are always so early and the landing so late?
So, yeah, maybe for the one who discovers solar impulse now, you see this huge wingspan, very lightweight with carbon fiber structure, and this is the only way to make the plane light enough and efficient enough to fly with no fuel day and night. If we wanted to fly in the middle of the day, it could be much shorter, much smaller, it could fly faster, we would not need batteries, we could put a two-seater. Our friend Eric Raymond is doing that in Slovenia. But if we want to fly day and night, that means cross oceans, take enough batteries, the plane has to be like this, which means that it is very sensitive to turbulence, very sensitive to crosswinds or high winds, and we have to take off at night or early morning. When I took off from Hawaii, it was just sunrise, that was fine. And very often, we have to wait until the wind dies completely to land. When I landed in Tulsa, it was 11:30, I think, in the evening, and before that, it's windy, it's normal. When you have the sun, you have exchanges of heat with the ground, and it creates thermals and turbulence, and this is the bad place to be with solar impulse. So when it's thermal and winds, we have to be high altitude already, above the clouds.
What is going on in the cockpit at the moment? Now it's like a minute, or it's all 4 o'clock.
Yeah, so here we are now half an hour before departure. So during the taxiing, when the team brings the plane to the threshold of the runway, it's the time to make all the checks. So first you have the electrical checks. You have to switch on all the instruments, all the different electrical systems, and check them all. And you have the checklist on the iPad, and you follow that, and you have the airplane fully working on the electrical point of view. And then you have to make the check for the oxygen. And we have 2 systems of oxygen, and each system has one system that gives you little pulses, and the other one that gives you constant flow. So if you are in an emergency, just put constant flow, and you have the really massive flow of oxygen in the face. We have to test all that. The oxygen sensor, and it's a complex system because, of course, it's crucial. If you are at flight level 280, that means 8,000 or 9,000 meters, you have a problem with the oxygen, you cannot survive. So you have to be really very, very strict on that. And we have an engineer who has worked on this oxygen system. That's his baby. It's Michael McGrath. And we have to check all that as pilots. And then you bring the plane on the threshold. You have the run-up. You have to test if all 4 motors work at full power. And you have the control sweeps. So you check that the ailerons, elevator, rudder work correctly. And this is done in telemetry with the Mission Control Center in Monaco. So all this takes some time. And then you have the final readiness of the team. This is called by Raymond Claire, the mission director. You have the ground team who has to spread along the runway. The bicycles have to be ready to recover if the plane makes an aborted takeoff. And then you have the final clearance from the tower. That's the best moment, you know, when the tower calls you and says, Solar Impulse, you are clear for takeoff. Then you put the full power and you have absolutely no noise and you take off. And that's the beginning of the dream.
Almost 120 years ago, 2 brothers in Dayton were probably experiencing something similar to what you're experiencing now.
The Wright brothers made the first motorized flight because there had been some gliders before, like Otto Lilienthal in Germany, who made 2,000 flights from a hill with a glider he had built. But the Wright brothers had the idea to put the motor and to control the wings because Otto Lilienthal, he was moving, it was a center of gravity shift, a little bit like in a hang glider. But the Wright brothers really went one step further to launch motorized aviation. And it's interesting to see that a lot of scientists were saying at that time, it's impossible to make it work. It's impossible to fly if you are heavier than air. That was the principle. You could fly if you were lighter than air, but you could not fly if you were heavier than air. And the Wright brothers showed that it was completely wrong.
But this is something you also heard when you were launching this project.
In the beginning, of course, when I initiated this project, people told me you cannot fly forever if you have no fuel. And if you have fuel, you have to land to refuel. So perpetual flight is impossible. And so big and so light, impossible. And the big airplane constructors told me you just cannot do it. One of them even wrote, "We are not interested."
It's not only the weather that brings you to Dayton. I'm sure you were also very interested to pay tribute to the Wright brothers by landing in that mythical place where the first flight of the Wright brothers took place.
Well, the first flight of the Wright brothers was not in Dayton. They built in Dayton, and then they were bringing their planes to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, and made the test very secretly. And they were flying in the dunes close to the sea. But landing in Dayton, of course, is wonderful. The Solar brothers are going to meet the Wright brothers. But you know, in America, I have to say that in America, wherever you go, it's the place of pioneers. You have so many pioneers for aviation everywhere. It's a country that loves aviation. It's a country that invented aviation. And it's a country that respects aviation. If you are flying a little Cessna or Piper, you are respected as much as if you fly a Jumbo 747 by the air traffic controller, by the administration. In Europe, it's not the case anymore. In Europe, it's a little bit the wish to put the private aviation down to have more space for commercial aviation. And this is something that worries me in Europe, that they lose this tradition of aviation like they have in America. When I was flying over the Golden Gate, I was 4,000 feet. At 3,000 feet, they were all the private airplanes. At 8,000, they were the jumbo jets. And I was in the middle, and it works perfectly. Les chaînes de TV sont placées où pour filmer? Ils ont un bon spot?
Je sais pas, c'est Victoire qui fait demander ça.
Elle est où, Victoire?
Ils sont là-bas tous. Ah ouais, voilà, ils sont ici.
So, ils sont contents.
For a lot of people, the problem is that probably can't do it. Really, in fact, I would have thought that the pictures, they don't say nothing about it. The water wash, in fact.
Oui, donc je vais rassurer le bricolage. Est-ce que le bricolage... Oui, il était maintenant. Ah oui, le Takeoff est dans un minute, donc il faut que je fasse autre chose. On va trouver la voiture.
Now, how will you know?
He's going to do the same thing you, maybe a bit slower than you do. And then you will hear that. You hear a small voice. Right. Oh, that's a disappointment. Right there. Right there.
Oh, really? Oh,
See all the videos and hear it. So they just appreciate it.
Everybody
steady stream from you.
Solar Impulse 2 and André Borschberg are poised to take off. They will be taking off in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Once again, a reminder, they are at Tulsa International Airport. They will be on their way to Dayton International Airport. It will be about an 18-hour flight. And once again, it is André Borschberg at the controls of Solar Impulse 2, and they will be doing their final checks and getting ready to take off any minute.
Okay, so
Ready for departure briefing.
ready for departure briefing. Okay, so I will apply full power and climb straight ahead. Climb initially to 4,500 feet. After 5 minutes, we reduce to 11 kilowatts. At 1,000 feet above ground, which is 1,600, we'll retract landing gear and proceed to Tulsa, Iowa.
Sounds good. We expect the cloud base at 6,000 feet. You can increase after retraction of the landing gear to 30 knots, and sunrise expected 11 Zulu, and tactically free of clouds climbing to 6,000 feet. Immediate return.
Okay.
What are your intentions for immediate return?
In case of immediate return, we'll make a left and downwind forward with 08 and land at the same position that I took off. We should have the green lights and the red lights on the runway marked as normal.
Okay, that sounds good.
So solar media is ready.
Okay, so my side I'm ready.
Okay, the latest wind readings are 090, 2 knots.
Let's go in.
Solar ground is ready, catching point position. Solar safety.
And Raymond is doing currently the final readiness call.
Okay, solar safety is ready, wind 090 at 2. Solar impulse is ready.
He's ready.
Okay, so
E-shape cable guide.
remove the time. Donc on est prêt, hein? Ok. So you give the word. Blue.
Okay, Solar Impulse, this is the flight director speaking. Are we ready to proceed?
Yes, through control. So Impulse is ready to proceed.
Okay, also the final readiness call is done from the MCC side. Ground crew is ready, Solar Media is ready, MCC is ready. You are clear to proceed to get the takeoff clearance from the tower.
Yep, we can take takeoff clearance from the tower and then we proceed. Right?
That's copied. Have a nice flight.
Thank you, Michael. Talk to you later. Tulsa Tower from Hotel Bravo, Sierra India Bravo, yeah. Ready to departure on that.
Hotel Bravo, Sierra India Bravo, Tulsa Tower. Do you have information Yankee at Tulsa?
Information Yankee is to be submitted.
Hotel Bravo, Sierra India Bravo, roger. Current winds 110 at 3. Tulsa altimeter 3009er, runway 8, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff with altimeter 3009. Sorry, but
Streambox, I'm following the plane, Natalie, just so you know. Yeah, it's behind the tree and it's now up. Okay.
Safety check.
Go ahead.
Or on the computer 29, on the winter 27.5, and on the DTX 27.28. Yes.
That's copied.
Every time I sit in an airplane, it starts like this. Because we have to gain height, circling, or can you just
Okay.
Still reducing 11 kilowatts.
That's copied.
Hotel Bravo Sierra India.
André Borschberg there and Solar Impulse 2 taking off from Tulsa International Airport on their way to Dayton, Ohio. It will be an 18-hour flight, and everything is going well. Very early in the morning in Tulsa, so but it will be late evening by the time we arrive in Dayton. So hopefully, if you're in Dayton and looking out to watch Solar Impulse, you can keep an eye on the skies. But we have one of our fabulous weathermen here, Wim, and he's going to show us a little bit about the weather. If you were watching earlier, you heard Raymond Claire, our mission director, and he was talking about some of the crosswinds, which are going to lead to a slightly different flight profile for Solar Impulse 2. And Wim is here actually to talk about the crosswinds and show us the kind of weather map which you probably don't see every day. So Wim, explain a little bit. I think this is not something that you normally see on the Weather Channel.
No, exactly, but this is what we work with. And actually, this is a weather map of the Midwest, of the United States.
So we got Tulsa over here,
Tulsa,
Dayton over there.
where we just took off in good conditions. And then here we see Dayton, and it's still raining in Dayton.
Which is this blue.
Yeah. So all the gray and the white is the cloudiness, and the blue, that's the precipitation that is falling out of that cloudiness. And so it's still bad over Ohio, even Indiana and Illinois. But the good thing is it's moving to the east. So when we will arrive, the sky will be clear over Dayton. But it will take a while. So during flight, we will encounter these winds. These are the high-level winds.
This is actually, so this is showing you the direction of the winds.
Yes, here I wanted to show the wind flags. The wind is coming from the northwest, pretty strong, 40 knots. This is the level of 80,000 feet. And actually we're flying from Tulsa to Dayton, so we are flying northeast, and these strong northwest winds are coming from the left. And during a huge part of this flight, for several hours, André will struggle with that wind coming from the left. He will fly in crab. He will position himself partly towards the wind to keep track. Because if he wouldn't, he would be blown away.
End up in the south somewhere.
That's the idea. But it's not the first time that we encounter that. It's the first time that it will be over a long time. But in several days, we always had a solution. We make it to Dayton. It's every solution we had to adapt something. So I think during flight we will have to adapt something as well. But we always find a solution, so that's a good thing.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to you keeping us posted on the weather situation. I actually think we have Bertrand Picard, who is going to be joining us for a bit of a chat. Bertrand, hello. It looks like he's actually just getting ready. He's on the ground there in Tulsa. Bertrand, can you hear me?
Yes, Carrie, I hear you very well.
Excellent. So tell us about that takeoff and how it is in Tulsa.
Well, you know, I never have enough of this takeoff. I can be in the cockpit, or I can be on the runway to see André taking off. I never have enough. It's so beautiful. And here we were very, very close to the place where André made the rotation to take off, and it was magic. Everybody here on the side of the runway were out of breath. It's science fiction, but happening in reality. And this airplane is really magical when it flies like that, and we can be so close to see it taking off. So everybody here is happy. 18 hours now for André. It's a short flight for Solar Impulse, but what is funny is to imagine that almost no pilot in the world can say, I have flown 18 hours in a row. And here for Solar Impulse, it's a short flight.
And tell me, Bertrand, he is flying to a very important place for aviation, the home and place where the Wright brothers were doing all their work. Tell me about that.
Yes, of course. You know, Dayton is the place where the Wright brothers had the factory. They did not fly there because they took their airplanes, prototypes, to Kitty Hawk in North Carolina. But nevertheless, it's the place that is associated to the factory of the Wright brothers. But wherever you go in the United States, you have a place where you had pioneers, because it's really the land of aviation, the land of the people who invented how to fly. And wherever you are, people tell you, oh, that's important for aviation. We had Lindbergh, we had the Wright brothers, we had General Doolittle, we had Chuck Yeager, we had Dick Rutan, Burt Rutan, we had Steve Fossett, and now Solar Impulse. So you see, it's a continuous history happening in the US. But, you know, a lot of people call André and I the Solar Brothers, so it's fun to have the Solar Brothers arriving to the city of the Wright brothers.
I like that, the Solar Brothers. We're going to start calling you that from now on. Tell me, and what is going to be the agenda for you and the rest of the team there? What do you have to do today?
So we have to pack, put everything in the chase plane, and bring everybody to Dayton. And in Dayton, we have to prepare again everything. The mobile hangar, that's a big work for the ground team, and all the office and everything, so you can see also live the landing tonight. So for the multimedia, it's a lot of work. And of course, if you want to have all the viewers on Solar Impulse TV live with all the cameras from the airplane, all the cameras from Monaco, there's a lot of work also. So nobody has a lot of time to rest today. It's action. And for Monaco Mission Control, of course, also. I've been for 2 months in Monaco last year when we had the second part of the around the world last year between China, Japan, Hawaii. And I know how busy is everybody in Monaco, how important it is to have all this work been done. The air traffic controllers, the weathermen, the people from Altran simulating the trajectories, the mission engineers, flight directors, mission director, the multimedia, the communication team, the social media. Well, I think you are 60 in Monaco, so nobody is going to rest today either. But say hello, Carrie, to all my friends of the Monaco MCC.
I will definitely say hello to everyone here. We are, you know, yes, as you say, it is quite busy, and we're not expecting to be getting much rest. But we will know that you guys are in the same position. So I will let you get back to work because I know you have lots to do in the next few hours, and we'll be speaking to you next in Dayton.
Yes, absolutely. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Bye, Carrie.
Bertrand Picard there, one of the co-founders of Solar Impulse, Solar Impulse, and the pilot on the ground in Tulsa. Once again, André Borschberg is in the cockpit for this flight. He is flying Solar Impulse to Dayton, Ohio. Oh, and actually, the voices in my head are telling me that we have a best of video, so we will be showing you that and wrapping up our takeoff show. But stay tuned, we've got lots going on. We're going to be doing Facebook Lives. We are going to be interviewing some of our weathermen again, some of the air traffic controllers, some of the flight directors, and all of our some of the mission engineers, and of course the team, the digital team, may be bringing us some of the great pictures and images and comments that you have been sending us. We really appreciate that, and so definitely, if you haven't looked at solarimpulse.com, check that out because that's a great place to look at the map and follow the airplane. So I will leave you now with a best of video, so enjoy that.
No, but it's great because you have this atmosphere with all the, you know, all the flashing blue, red lights everywhere.